You're listening to the weekly Parsha Podcast with Ari Goldwag, recorded with Hashem's never-ending assistance in Ramah B'Shem Israel 5780 2020. This week's Parsha is Parsha's Sisa, and in our Parsha we have perhaps one of the most fundamental, challenging, difficult events that the Jewish people has ever undergone, one of the most challenging nisyanos, tests of our faith, and that is the sin of the golden calf, the chet ha'egel. And we need to understand what is the idea behind it, what is the idea of the chet ha'egel, of the sin, why did it happen, why specifically at this time did it happen, and we need to understand also what is the message for us. This Dvar Torah is entitled Faith Over Fear, and one of the ideas, of course, it's on everybody's mind what's going on in the world with the coronavirus, and I want to address with this Dvar Torah perhaps an approach that we can understand what is the idea behind when there's challenges like this in the world, challenges that affect all of us and bring fear to us, bring fear. And what is the approach? So I want to share with you two things. One is a vort from the Madregas HaAdam, from the altar of Navardik, and the lesson that he learns from the chet ha'egel, and what is the approach to this kind of fear. And another is just a general thought that has to do with Moshiach. I'm sure it's on everyone's minds. Maybe Moshiach is coming. I believe it to be true. And what happens before Moshiach comes, and how does it connect to the fact that why did the chet ha'egel happen at this very point in time? Why did this sin happen? Why was this Pandora's box opened as Moshe Rabbeinu was about to come down with the Torah? Why was it at that moment? Why do challenges occur, and big challenges like this kind of challenge, whether we're talking about the chet ha'egel or whether we're talking about the challenge which is a world challenge right now that we're facing off with? What is the approach? What is the idea behind it? And how are we to face off with it? Faith over fear, with faith as opposed to fear. All right, so I'd like to share with you what the Madregas HaAdam says, and he wants to understand the Jewish people were on a tremendously high level. When they were at Har Sinai, they had been there, they had said Nasa v'nishma, they had reached an exalted state, the state of Adam HaRishon Kadam HaChet, Adam before the sin. They had all died, and they had come back to life with a brand new body, one that could last and live forever. In fact, as a result of the chet ha'egel, they all became again prone to the curse of Adam HaRishon of death. How could they indeed, if they were on such an exalted level, how could they have fallen so greatly? How could they have made such a tremendous mistake to worship the golden calf? They had just seen HaKadosh Baruch Hu take them out of Egypt. They had seen Hashem himself take them out of Egypt. And yet here they were. Okay, we could say it's the Erev Rav. Perhaps most of the Jewish people didn't do it. Perhaps they even they weren't okay with it, but they didn't protest when the Erev Rav did it. So how could it be that such a great sin could occur? And he says like this: Let's try and understand. It's not so crazy that the Jewish people, after reaching such an exalted level at Har Sinai, they made this mistake. First of all, we know that the Erev Rav was there. We find that the pasuk tells us that Moshe was late, and we know that our sages explain they knew that he was supposed to come back on day 40, and they made a mistake on when day 40 was. It was really day 39. They thought it was the time for him to return, and the Gemara in Shabbos on Daf Peitas says that they saw Moshe Rabbeinu, they saw him dead. They saw that he was not on his death, but they saw him in a coffin. They saw he was dead. That's what they were shown by the Yetzer Hara, by the evil inclination. So we can't give them too much guilt. So he flips it around and says, the mistake was such there wasn't really so much room for the side of good. The actual golden calf itself, we can't say that they have done anything wrong. They didn't intend If you read the pasuk, you read it carefully, they did not intend for it to be an idol. They meant for him to be in place of Moshe. Moshe was their leader. They wanted the Egel as well to be somehow, Asher Yelchu Lefanenu, the pasuk says, it shall go before us. Verse in Exodus chapter 32, verse 23. They had certainly there was room to make a mistake because they thought that Moshe was dead. Who knows where he is? Who knows what's happened to him? They hadn't seen him in a month and a half, almost. But he says like this, an amazing thing. Foundational idea when it comes to understanding how to deal with the Yetzer Hara. How do we face off with the evil inclination? Nachmanides writes, Ramban writes, that Sheker has no feet. What is the idea? Whenever you have a statement which is false, Yetzer Hara showed them something that wasn't true, that Moshe Rabbeinu was dead, right? Whenever you have something that's false, there's a trick. There's a sleight of hand is the correct translation here. Hanikra pokus. It's a type of hocus pocus. There's a whole trick that magicians are able to do, and in such a way they're able to trick people out of their money. You know, the people who have the shell game where you have three cups, and underneath the cup there's some item that you need to figure out which one it's under. The hand is faster than the eye. Right? They have the ability, with sleight of hand, the way that it works is the hand is faster than the eye, and therefore the person can be fooled, even though he thinks that he sees that it's one way, it truly is a different way. A person can't properly understand what's going on. If a person looks very carefully with a sharp eye, so then he certainly will recognize the falsehood, the fakeness. It's only the extreme speed that fools the eye, that fools the person, that fools the senses. So the way it is that a person can become fooled when things are quick. This is how it is with the path of the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. The Satan cannot present an avera, a sin, as something which is really good. What is his power? His power is in his speed. When a person thinks about it intellectually, person's already past the point where he's already done it. The Yetzer Hara gets a person, gotta do this quick. Don't think about it. Quick. Do it. In the end, the person is already sitting after the action, after the sin. He's already done it. And he's like, how did that happen? Why did I do that? So the intellect is a little bit slow. Even though the intellect can indeed be mavchin, can recognize that the thing that was done was not okay, or the thing that's being done is not okay, but the trick of the Yetzer Hara is in its speed, its sleight of hand. So the Yetzer Hara, the Rishaim, who indeed give into their Yetzer Hara, even though they know that the thing that they're doing is not good, they feel terrible about it. Still, a person is not, the Yetzer Hara works quick. The evil inclination says quickly, do the aver, do the sin. The person does not indeed have that full measure of commitment to make sure that he doesn't do it. He doesn't have his own, he's just heavy. So the Rasha, the addict, we could even say, we don't want to call an addict the Rasha, but somebody who's used to sinning and is habituated to sinning, so he's always finding himself to be conquered. So he says an amazing thing, and this is the pshat in the Maisa Egel. It's a deep, deep lesson for us. We need to understand that when the Yetzer Hara showed, when the Satan showed that Moshe was dead, so he couldn't show them in a way that was absolutely clear. Right? It wasn't really true. Moshe was not really dead. It was a sleight of hand. It was a trick. It was it quickly tricked them and caused them to do something wrong. If they would have looked carefully, they would have looked with a sharp eye, they wouldn't have seen it that way. And the proof is Sheshevet Levi. We find that the tribe of Levi, they didn't give in to the sin. When Moshe says, "Who is for Hashem? Come to me," the entire Shevet Levi came to him. Obviously, they didn't fall. They didn't fall down. They didn't fall in the trap of the Yetzer Hara. If it was so obvious and there was no, there wasn't anything fishy about it, how come Levi didn't fall into it? Clearly, there was a trick. There was a sleight of hand. There was a hand moves faster than the eye. And in the case of Yetzer Hara, the picture that he showed them moved faster than him. Whoever wanted to make a mistake made a mistake. That was their bechira point. That was their bechira, their free will there. The tribe of Levi, so they had made a decision not to make a mistake, and they didn't. This was the problem. This was the guilt of the Jewish people. They didn't look carefully. And they also had this mistake of the 6th hour. Right? Oh my gosh, the 6th hour has come, Moshe's not here. But the tribe of Levi didn't make this mistake. They didn't believe that Moshe died. They didn't believe the picture that Yetzer Hara showed them. They weren't concerned about the fact that Moshe hadn't come yet. They said maybe he'll come tomorrow, maybe he'll come soon. They weren't pushed by the Yetzer Hara to fall into this trap. So we can learn, we can understand from the Maisa Egel, this is the way of the Yetzer Hara. This is his trick. This is how he works. Quickly, sleight of hand, fools us, and we fall for it all the time. All of his power is that he says, do it quick. But we have a choice. We have free will. And Shevet Levi is the one who shows us the way it's supposed to be. Okay, he talks about the fact that they didn't fall completely. We have to understand that even the sin itself wasn't, it was a sin, of course. It was a tremendous sin. But he explains how they didn't fall completely from their level. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. But the idea that we see here is very powerful. And it's that we need to understand, whenever we look at what's going on in the world, and this I believe is a big mistake of many of the Jewish magazines and being too involved in reading the media, there's a certain, their whole trick is quickness. Oh my gosh, here's something exciting, here's something scary, here's something that we should be afraid of. That's the way of the media. That's the way even of our own media, of the Frum media, is to say something that's exciting and scary because it sells papers. People like to be afraid. But that's atzas hayetzer. And I'm not chas v'shalom saying that we shouldn't be cautious. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be careful. But we need to know that the way of the Yetzer Hara is to make us fearful. And the way of the Torah is that we need to have faith. And another example of this, the Jewish people, when the Meraglim came back from searching out the land, and they said that we can't possibly overcome the nations, those strong nations that are in the land of Canaan, the land of Israel. And the Jewish people became fearful. Perhaps Hashem is not with us. It's easy to become fearful and to think that Hashem, chas v'shalom, is not with us. Look what's going on. People are dying. People are getting sick. It's something that seems like it's going to spread throughout the world. And it may be true. It may be true. But to give in to the fear, this is the time the other way around. My Rosh Hashiva says, Rabbi Per, right now he's saying, this is the time to work on our bitachon. This is the time to work on our faith in Hashem, to work on our trust in Hashem that He's going to protect us, that He's doing this for a reason. Hashem has a reason for every single thing that goes on in the world. The good things, the bad things, everything is for a reason. And I want to share with you a thought which is connected to Moshiach, and which is I believe, connected to this virus. And it's just an important thing to understand when things like this go on, when it seems to be that there's a din in the world, there's a judgment going on, there's something challenging, difficult. Many people, the entire world is shaking. The entire world is shaking under our feet. What is the approach? How are we to think about this? I want to share with you Gemara. It's in Sukkah, Daf Nun Beis. It's only Gemara in Shas, as far as I know, that speaks about the concept of Moshiach ben Yosef. Moshiach ben Yosef, there's Moshiach ben Yosef, Moshiach ben Dovid. Two different Moshiachs. Moshiach who comes from the tribe of Ephraim, who's from Yosef. There's a Moshiach from Dovid, from the tribe of Yehuda. We all know about Moshiach ben Dovid. Tzemach Dovid Avdecha. We all know about Dovid, but there's also Moshiach ben Yosef. And the Gemara tells us that when Moshiach, the times right before Moshiach, there's a great war, a war called Gog Magog. And Moshiach ben Yosef, it's a machlekes in the Gemara, it's a machlekes till today, whether or not Moshiach ben Yosef has to die. But there's a shita, an opinion that Moshiach ben Yosef dies. And I want to try to understand why it is that Moshiach ben Yosef, this leader of the Jewish people, why does he have to die? What is the idea behind his death? Also very interesting, the Gemara says here in Sukkah Daf Nun Beis that after it happens, after Moshiach ben Yosef dies, there's a conversation that Moshiach ben Dovid has with Hashem, and it goes like this. Taner Rabbanu, Moshiach ben Dovid she'aseh ligalos b'mheira b'yameinu. Moshiach ben Dovid, who's going to reveal himself speedily in our days. Amar le HaKadosh Baruch Hu, she'al mimeni davar v'atein lecha. Hashem says to him, I want you to ask me anything, I'll give it to you. Shneimar saper al choik. Ani hayam yilidaticha. She'al mimeni v'etano goyim nach lasech. It's a pasuk in Tehillim, second chapter of Tehillim. Hashem says, ask me anything, I'll give you whatever you want. Became a Shira Moshiach ben Yosef shenerag. And when Moshiach ben Dovid sees that Moshiach ben Yosef was killed, Amar lefanov, Ribbon Shalom, Eini mevakish memcha l'chaim. Moshiach ben Dovid says, I just want one thing. I want to live. I don't want to die. Okay, so that's what he asks for. Amar Elochaim. Amar le Chaim Hashem responds and says, don't worry. You don't have to worry. You're going to live. David HaMelech, King David, your great-great-grandfather, he already prophesied about you, and he said, Chaim she'al mimcha nasat aloi. The life that you requested, Hashem has given to him. Chaim she'al mimcha, or the life that you are going to ask for, he will give you. Okay, so Hashem promises Moshiach ben Dovid that he's going to be fine. He's not going to die like Moshiach ben Yosef. Question is, what is going on here? Why does Moshiach ben Yosef have to die? And what is the conversation between Moshiach ben Dovid and HaKadosh Baruch Hu asking for life? What is Hashem's response? And this is my understanding of the Gemara. And I've thought a lot about these things. I had a blog for many years talking about Moshiach. And I stopped the blog about 10 years ago, but I still think about it all the time. And I have many chidushim, many ideas. One of the ideas that I want to share with you is that who is Moshiach ben Yosef? What is his job? And why does he have to die? Moshiach ben Yosef, his job is to lead the Jewish people in the war of Gog and Magog, to protect the Jewish people against an existential threat which faces us from the nations of the world that want to destroy us. Moshiach ben Yosef dies in that war. Why? I believe that the pshat is, the reason is because Klal Yisrael needs to know that no person, no one person, no army can protect us. No people who say, I'm standing up and protecting the people of Israel, as certain people have been saying of late. Nobody protects us. Only one protects us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself protects us. And as long as there's a person named Moshiach ben Yosef who seems to be protecting the Jewish people, there's a problem, because we need to be completely dependent on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, on Hashem. We need to know that He is the only one. He is the only one that protects us. And for that reason, I believe that Moshiach ben Yosef has to die. And it could be that Moshiach ben Yosef won't die, and it might be because he's somebody who's a tremendous tzaddik, tremendous righteous individual who takes no credit for himself. And therefore the Jewish people, through his leadership, are indeed drawn into a relationship with Hashem instead of believing that He's the one protecting them. We will see what happens when Moshiach ben Yosef himself arrives. But the idea here is that, what is the Torah telling us? What is this Gemara telling us? What happens? There's a point in time, there's a moment in time where there's a challenge, there's a Gog and Magog. Why does that have to happen before Moshiach comes? Why does there have to be a great war? Why does there have to be such a challenge, an existential threat to the Jewish people? Why is it that before Hashem is about to give the Torah to the Jewish people, there has to be a moment of difficulty? The Jewish people fall. And there's a Magefa. There's a plague. 3,000 Jews die. They have to be killed. And there are other points in the Torah where we see that when we lose our relationship with Hashem, there's a Magefa. There's a plague. As far as I understand it, the idea is that when there's about to be a new level in relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whether it's because Moshiach is about to come, whether it's because the Jewish people are about to receive the Torah and be, jettisoned into a much higher spiritual realm. In any case, there's always a moment where there's a judgment, a din. And the only way to get through the judgment is by being machazek, strengthening our bitachon, strengthening our faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, our connection to Hashem. That is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us. In the moment when there's a challenge, it's because we are about to step over a hurdle into a new place, a new spiritual level. And in order to get there, we have to get past a final test. And the test is, are we going to be in a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Are we going to have bitachon? Are we going to have faith? Are we going to have faith, or are we going to buy into the fear? Are we going to be tricked by the achizas einayim, the quickness of the media, the quickness of the Yetzer Hara, which tells us to be afraid and to take every precaution, which of course we have to take normal precautions. But the question is, are we going to strengthen our emunah? Are we going to strengthen our bitachon, strengthen our faith, strengthen our prayer, our tefillah? That is what is called for at a time like this. And that's why Moshiach ben Dovid says Hashem, when he sees Moshiach ben Yosef has died, he says, I have nothing. As long as I think that I can protect myself, as long as I think that the government is going to protect me, as long as I think that things are going to be okay because something I'm going to save myself, that's not it. Moshiach ben Dovid says, I don't even know if I don't even know if I can depend on the fact that I'm going to stay alive. Hashem says, don't worry, you got it. You got it. If you understand that, if you're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for life, you're fine. You're fine. It's going to be good because you got the message. The message of this Gemara, and the message, I believe, of the Parsha is, you want to have a real relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You want to reach the next level. You want to walk into the days of Moshiach. You want to walk into a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu where you receive the Torah. You have to remember, don't make the mistake. Don't fall into the trap of the Yetzer Hara. Don't fall into the fear that maybe Hashem is not with me. Don't fall into that fear. This is the moment of test. This is the moment where we need to be machazik our bitachon. We need to be machazik and strengthen our faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And I want to offer to you again, Baruch Hashem, we have a wonderful group of men on Sunday meeting, a group of women on Tuesdays meeting, working on bitachon together every single week. With Hashem's help, I want to offer that to you. If you are interested in it, please email me, arigoldwag@gmail.com. You can join us. Baruch Hashem, we have beautiful discussions centered around the Sefer of my Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Per, about bitachon, about faith, and based on Madrigas Adam, the Altar of Nevardik. And we can work on this together. This is the time to work on it, to face off with the challenge, and to strengthen ourselves and strengthen those around us with bitachon and Hashem. And I'm so sure that we all will join together. And I ask you to bless me, and please bless me back. Hashem should help us to recognize the wiliness of the Yetzer Hara, the sleight of hand. Hashem should help us not to give in to the fear. Hashem should help us, yes, to take necessary precautions and to be careful, but at the same time, to work on our bitachon, work on our connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because that's what this is all about. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos. This podcast was made possible through the gracious donations of listeners like you. For more podcasts like this, please visit www.arigoldwag.com or search on iTunes Ari Goldwag.